What's going on, peeps? It's Wrath here, hanging out today, playing some Idle Heroes. I want to thank you guys so much for coming out with me today. If you liked the video, don't forget, smash that thumbs up button to show your support. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well. Alright guys, we're here today on the official server because we have new events, and as always, that brings us to official servers. Whoopsie buttons, I didn't mean to click. Any hoodles, we've got things starting out here in the value packages. If you're a spending guy, it's a pretty standard, I guess, value package deals for what the events are. Bunch of profit orbs, you can obviously guess, profit orb event, and I guess you get a 5-star hero as well. Whoopsie doos. Not a huge deal. I'm not always big on the packs. I'm more of a monthly card kind of guy myself. Anyways, that brings us here to the Prophet Summon event. Woo! I'm actually pretty happy for this. I've got enough orbs on both official and private to do the event, and actually a little bit more. I think on private we might do 200, because I've got a ton of them. But it makes me happy. As usual, the rewards are pretty standard. You get the Light and Dark 4-star shards, a Fortress 5-star, a Shadow 5-star, the Light and Dark 5-star, which is actually pretty nice for the Heroic Miracle events. Having those in your bag, 2 thumbs up. It's not a bad deal. Then you've got Emily as one of your special hero prizes. We can talk about the heroes at the end. Generally, that's what I do. Kamath is the big reward, and also comes with a new skin, Biomechanical Weapon. Now, I can't help but look at this guy, and I kind of see like a Plants vs. Zombie kind of dude. That's what it reminds me of when I see it. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a thing, but that's what I feel like it is. Anyhoos, I guess it's not a bad skin, but I just can't get it out of my head that it's Plants vs. Zombies. Maybe I'm just weird. But there it is. Not a bad looking skin, I guess. Kamath, pretty decent guy. We'll get back to him. Milton's event is up as well. If you guys don't know, I almost always recommend that you go for the Trial of the Champion first. It's the most important. It is actually on a time scale too. So if you don't get it done in the first half of the week, it actually goes away, and then you can't finish the event. You're kind of screwed. So definitely do this first anyways, but also because the rewards in Trial of Champion are better. Okay, you get 2,000 gems instead of 1,000 for the Crystal Crown League, and that's obviously a good deal. It's twice as many gems. It does take a lot more tickets to get this done. I believe it's 225 needed to finish Trial of the Champion and 75 needed for Crystal Crown. And so it's, what is that, 300 total? Not that many. Not that many. But any hoodles, with that said, you also get 5 profit orbs, so that's definitely something you should shoot for this event because profit orb is running at the same time, so definitely worth going to first. And the hero here is going to be Mickey. Now, I never built Mickey, even back when she was a dodge-based hero. Generally speaking, back then, she was kind of like 50-50. Is she good? Is she bad? A lot of people liked her. Some people hated her. I fought a couple 10 Mickeys, and I wasn't like hugely impressed by them, but they could be a little annoying because dodging would make them block, you not build up skill energy, and it's kind of rough. But since they changed her to block, and now she no longer has dodge, it's not a thing anymore, I haven't heard anybody really say that she was great. Most people kind of said it was a big nerf to her, and she's nowhere near as good anymore, and I'm inclined to agree. She also used to have a damage over time effect on her active skill, and she lost that as well. So I don't really see a lot of use for Mickey, but she's a thing. She's a reward I'm not super excited for. Anyways, you also get the new avatar. Looks like a dude holding an axe above a bunch of skulls. I'm alright with that, looks pretty good. And then we got a mysterious chest event. Now, I'll go ahead and say, generally speaking, any offer in a chest is usually a pretty good deal. However, the one on official, I generally tell people it's better if you don't buy it. If it's like, if you're up against the wall, like, what do I buy? And you only buy a couple things, don't buy this one. And that's the 2,000 gem chest. It's going to give you 5 super chips and 2 pieces of orange gear. Now, a new player says, that's good gear and it's super chips. Yes, and like I said, it's not a terrible deal, but it's the worst one, I would say, on official because super chips are pretty mediocre on official. They don't have really great odds. You're most likely just going to get a couple nodes of gold and some monster blood. That's statistically what you're going to land. It's just not that good. But like I said, the orange 4-star gear, not bad for a new player. And like I said, it's not a terrible deal. It's just not what I would recommend. Everything else, pretty much a good deal. 5 heroic scrolls for 500 gems, not bad. You also get 5,000 promotion stones with it. Either way, it's a good deal. It's cheaper than market value, not bad. Then you got the 3,000 offer. It's going to have 8 profit orbs, which 8 profit orbs normally cost you 500 gems apiece. That's 4,000 gems. So you're already saving 1,000 gems buying them here. Plus you get 2 pieces of orange 4-star gear. Not bad. Moving down, you have the 6,000 chest. This is another one that's kind of iffy. It depends if you're building the hero or not. Is it going to be worth buying? For me, I'm not building Chara, especially not on official. I might pick her up. I don't have enough gems probably on private either. But generally speaking, if you're not really focused on building the hero offered here, Usually you don't pick it up. The dust is nice, don't get me wrong, but you can buy a dust with gold from the marketplace. And like I said, if you're not going to build this hero, while it is nice to have that hero in your bag for heroic miracles, it's also 6,000 gems. That's a lot of gems. So generally I pass it up if I'm not going to build the hero. And in this case, I'm not building Chara. Not a bad unit, I'm just not building one. In the last chest here, you get the skin for Heart Watcher, the Dark Elf. Ooh, looks hot. Looks good. Anyways, you also get an orange artifact, which, believe it or not, especially on official, they're very rare. You don't get a lot of orange artifacts unless you place like really high in broken spaces, and very occasionally, really high level, you can get them from campaign drops. But they're really not something you get a lot of. So this chest is pretty worthwhile for the orange artifact. Not to mention, you get 25,000 guild coins too, and guild coins are super important for your tech. So more and more, I'm looking at these and I'm saying, you know what? That's actually a better chest than I used to give it credit for. As a new player, I was looking at it like, I could get a hero for 6,000. Why would I go higher? And I guess that's just where your priorities are as a new player. If you're newer to the game, you're better off getting a hero that you're going to use rather than an orange artifact and some guild coins early on. You're still trying to build a team. This stuff is what you get after that. Or as you have a decent team already, then this stuff starts popping a little more too. It's like, hey, I could use that orange artifact. I need one. But anyways, that's the chest event. I guess we can go through now and look at the heroes and kind of talk a little bit about them because that's always important. So we've got Emily and Kamath to go over, and also Mickey. And I guess we can go over Chara as well because she's on offer. So, start things out here with, who was I going to start it out with? I can't remember already. Brain completely fried. Are you serious? Am I this bad? Oh my god, Emily. I was in the right place. I was going for just like, I know it's a fortress hero. Emily. Okay, let's get there and check out the Emily. Now, boom. Emily. Pretty decent hero. You used to see a lot of her. When the priest meta was pretty heavy and official, at least. I don't know if it got quite as bad over in a private. I wasn't there yet. But priest metas got everywhere. You had Emily's and Vesa's, and it was lined up all over the place. She's got a pretty decent skill set for PvP. Not much in PvE area. Her main thing she does, she boosts speed and attack for your allies, which is really nice. The reducing precision by the enemy isn't really important, not a big deal. Her damage is pretty much nothing. She's a support unit. But attack and speed was really nice for PvP because a faster unit got crowd control off quicker. So it's kind of nice to have an Emily to do that for you. I still see her used occasionally, but nowhere near as much as I saw her early on. And now if you have super fast crowd control units like Dark Arthidol and stuff everybody's got built up like on private server, she's even less useful now than she was. But like I said, she's still not a terrible PvP support unit. I still see her. I still see her around. But mainly, speed and attack is her big deal. Nothing else is really super important. I guess she does reduce targets crit. Is that new? Did she get changed? I don't think she used to reduce targets crit when she attacked them. Maybe she did. I don't know. Well, that's not bad. That's decent support. Nice little debuff there. But also, when she falls below half health, she boosts your ally's attack and reduces enemy armor. So it's a nice little debuff for the enemy, makes them take a little more damage, while also boosting your team's attack to deal more damage. So like I said, she does have use in PvP as a support. I just don't see her as much as I used to. Not a bad hero to pick up if PvP is going to be one of your focuses on the server, especially official, because she'll be a lot easier to build than someone like, Dark Arthidol or those light heroes and stuff. So not a bad PvP unit, not really much for PvE, I guess in some cases maybe, but generally speaking, a 20% attack boost isn't a huge deal. You're going to get a lot more than that of a Heart Watcher or a Cruce even than Emily. So that's Emily out of the way. The next one up here is going to be Kamath. And there he is. The reason, like I said, I'm not really excited about the event for the heroes given in the event is I'm not a PvP guy. And pretty much every hero offered is pretty much PvP based. That's why I'm not super excited about the heroes coming out. But, whatever. Some people are like, yes, I've been waiting for this. So we'll go over it. Kamath, kind of like Emily, pretty much PvP only. Some use, I guess, obviously in Tower of Oblivion where you need crowd control. But outside of that, he's pretty much just PvP. His main drawing point that people like him for, he's decently fast, not really fast, but his basic attack has a chance to petrify backline enemies, and that basic attack having a chance to petrify is actually really handy, because it means anytime Kamath attacks, there's a potential for stopping somebody else from attacking on the enemy team, and that's a huge deal in PvP. Also, he does extra damage to petrified foes, and his active skill, obviously another chance to petrify, decreases target's armor. Not huge in PvP. It's never a bad thing. Having an extra debuff is always nice. They do take increased damage, but it's not as big a deal as you might think it would be. It's alright. It's alright. But the main thing is, crowd control, I believe, is also immune to being petrified, which is fantastic. Any kind of crowd control immunity is always a good thing. And when he falls below half health, he gets a large amount of reduced damage, which means once you get him halfway dead, he becomes much harder to kill, which can be very annoying. And like I said, I've seen a lot of Kamaths in high-end PvP, official and private. I've seen them both ways. A lot of really top-end private guys are all light and dark now, so you don't see quite as many at the tippy top of things. But he's still a very good unit, and that's why you see a lot of them built in PvP. Again, PvE side of things, like boss damages, he's kind of butthole. You're not really going to want him in PvE areas. The next one up is going to be Mickey, I believe. Eeny, meeny, miny, Mickey. There she be, another ranger. Hot. Anyways, like I said, she did get changed. She used to have a natural dodge chance, and every time she attacked, she gained dodge. So she got really hard to hit the longer she stayed alive. And like I said, it kept you from getting your active skills, became really annoying in PvP. But in PvE, really not much going on for her, especially now that she was changed to block. Now, no matter what she gets hit, she just takes less damage and heals a little bit. So, as for the active skill, has a heavy burst damage, 302% of attack. That's not bad. To 4 random enemies and gaining 40% attack for 3 rounds. So she's going to boost her damage. She doesn't have a really high attack stat naturally. 24,000 isn't huge. But 300% of your attack on an active skill is a pretty heavy hitting skill. Plus, she gains more attack after using it, so she can put out, I guess, decent numbers. But lack of any kind of crowd control, and I don't believe she gets any passive crit either. No, she does not. So no real nuke ability there that I can see. Kind of takes her. I don't see any Mickeys in top PvP really anywhere anymore. You used to see a lot of them, but ever since the nerf, people kind of dropped her. Okay, they dropped her like a sack of poo because that's what she turned into. From everything that I've heard, I've never built one, but this is the things I've heard, and they're not good. So she does gain block chance speed. She's a pretty fast unit. 1200 speed isn't slow. It's faster than most crowd control units, but like I said, she has no ability to crowd control, and there really is nothing super special about her anymore since she lost the ability to dodge. When blocking heals self, that's not bad. It keeps her alive a little bit. She can tank, I guess, okay-ish, but really not that great. And basic attack targets frontline enemies, decreasing their precision. You don't see a lot of her, okay? Like, if I were you guys, I wouldn't be excited about getting Mickey. Something for me, I'm just going to feed her out. That's how I see it. She's going to be food, and anytime you get food, it's not a bad thing. You're going to use it anyways. But that's Mickey. Not really great anywhere. She's kind of a borderline mediocre hero, in my opinion. And the last one up here is going to be Chara. Eeny, meeny, miny, Chara, the back end. This one's pretty solid. Okay, I've used a 10-star Chara before. I haven't been able to get one to 13 yet in the new seasonals, but when I had her at 10, she was actually a pretty solid unit in both PvE and PvP. She didn't do, like, super amazing PvE damage, but I didn't, gear her up for it either. So I can't say she wouldn't have been great, but she did hit pretty hard in PvE against bosses, which is really nice. Plus, she does have crowd control in her active skill, which means she does carry over quite well to PvP. Things like that's really annoying when you can get frozen or you can get petrified, but also she has a pretty nasty dot. 100% of her attack is damage over time. That's not bad, and a pretty heavy skill drop too. 235% of your attack against 4 random enemies. Not bad. So she does hit pretty hard in PvP. Plus, she has the damage over time and a chance to crowd control. I really liked her. She isn't the fastest at 1164. She will get outsped by a lot of units, but still, she's a beast. The heavy damage with the crowd control and the damage over time, I really liked her in PvP. I don't see a ton of them in top-end PvP on the private server, but, whatever. Maybe it's because not a lot of people built her. Right? I'll just blame it on that. Plus, like I said, when you're in private server, the top people, pretty much all darks and all lights, they're trying to get those huge crowd control immunity auras, and it makes sense. But I still say really solid PvP unit. I've used her before. Her basic attack targets 2 random enemies and steals their attack, which is obviously annoying for them and good for you. Extra damage, that's always nice. Does have 25% natural crit too, which means she does have ability to nuke people pretty hard if you run a crit-based run on your Chara. It can get pretty nasty in PvP. And the last thing here, when she takes skill damage, she has a chance to heal for 200% of her attack as HP, but also a 50% chance to increase her energy by 30%. This is actually really nice because even if she just used her skill and hit an enemy team, if they start hitting her back with skill damage, she can potentially drop her skill again the very next turn. So that's not bad. That's definitely not a bad thing to have. Extra skill drops, extra damage, extra crowd control. It's good. It's good. As for PvE, if you ran her in a pure attack sense, where you gave her a lot of attack on her stone and her artifact, the damage over time would be nice, and I think she would do a decent amount of damage there, well geared up for it. Like I said, I didn't run mine that way because I was mainly focused in trying to keep her good at both, but she works good in both areas, I would say. Definitely, I would say the best hero on offer today. Well, maybe not. Kamath is pretty solid. And Emily's pretty good too. Okay, pretty much just Mickey sucks. All right, that's the thing to take away from today's events is Mickey sucks, and everything else, depending on if you're wanting to go PvP more or not, they're worth building. I would say if you're trying to do like a hybrid team where you can do decent in PvE and PvP, your best bet would be Chara from the three. She's going to do more for you than any other ones. But that is all the events, labeled out, everything that's going down in them. Also, a little analysis of all the heroes. I know it takes a little bit of time to do that, and whoopsie doodles, but it's important. Newer players look at that and they maybe learn something, and that's why I'm in the business. But anyways, that's me for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please make sure, smash that thumbs up button to show your support. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well. Plus, tell your friends about it, because that definitely helps me out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next one.